Okay, welcome to your first exercise. This exercise is simply called Making a Simple Motion Tween. You should find a PDF of the same name. And as stated in the syllabus, each of these exercises is going to have a step-by-step PDF that you can follow along with, as well as a video sort of visually showing what we are doing. Okay, so without further ado, let's head into this. Depending on how you currently have Flash set up on your computer, you might have to open Flash, step one. And when you open Flash, you're going to have our sort of create new, which we did in that Flash Basics. And we're going to want to create a new action script 3.0. The little asterisk states if Flash is already open. Just go to File, New, and you'll basically create this same file type. So this is what sort of happened on that Flash Basics. Hopefully you've played around a little bit, maybe watch that video again to sort of understand our toolbox, understand our timeline, understand the stage, and the library. Okay. What we are going to do in this video is, as the video states, make a simple motion tween. I'll explain the tween here in a minute when we get to the timeline. But we're going to sort of embrace and head into a few of the concepts that we learned in the Flash Basics video in making this very, very simple animation. Okay, so step four, you have your menus up here, and you're going to go up to Insert New Symbol. Okay, and we get this little window here, and it says Create New Symbol. Before I head into more steps on this, I want to sort of talk about this idea of symbols again. Symbols are things that we keep in the library that we can reuse over and over again. There are different types of symbols, and if we hit the little type drop-down menu here, we're going to see the three different types of symbols. The first is a movie clip, the second is a button, and the third is a graphic. Now, I'm not going to explain necessarily the movie clip and the button just yet. We're going to get to that later in the semester, or not too far from now. And I want you to, as the step 4 states, insert a new symbol and name it green ball. I'm going to type green ball. And then I'm going to make sure this drop-down menu is labeled graphic. It's very important that we sort of pay attention to what that type is. It may or may not default to graphic depending on what you maybe used last or how your Flash is set up, but we need to make sure that that is set to graphic. A graphic, generally speaking, is a static symbol or something that just sort of is drawn. In this case, it's going to be a green ball that we do something with, and it's going to be the simplest of the symbols. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just click OK. And I want you to pay attention to what happens when I click OK. Okay. Basically what happened is I sort of entered this area with much larger area of white here. Okay. This is, we're basically inside the library right now. And I want you to take a look up here. Okay. I have two things. Right here it says Scene 1, and right here it says green ball. When we insert a new symbol, and in this case a new graphic, and go to green ball, what we're doing is we're basically going into our library, or another way to think of it is going into like a sketch pad, and basically Flash is asking us, okay, what does green ball look like? Draw green ball for me. And once you draw green ball for me, it will be sort of stored over here in the library. And when we're done drawing green ball, we can go back to our scene 1 being just sort of the main stage, and do something with that. Okay? So, note when you are either in the library, and in this case you'll see it because you see we're up here in green ball, or you're in scene 1. I'll sort of remind you when we flop back to scene 1 what that looks like. Okay? So, step 8, we need to click on the stroke color. We're going to draw a green ball here. We're going to click on this stroke color and make sure that it is no stroke color. We have all these colors we can choose from here. You'll see all these different things, and we'll get into them later. But we need to choose this one up here, which is basically a white box with a red line through it. That means no stroke color. Okay. Remember this idea of stroke and fill, stroke being sort of what is drawn around an object, in this case a graphic. And then we have our fill color. since we called this thing green ball, why not click and hold and go find a green? Okay, so this sort of setup is something to, again, get used to, stroke and fill. Now, we need to choose our oval tool. Okay, if you don't know what a tool is, generally speaking, Adobe products, we can scroll over them and they introduce themselves. This happens in Photoshop and other programs. So if you don't know the oval tool, we can sort of just scroll over it and say oval. You'll notice also that just to the right of my oval tool, and I'll scroll over it again, is a little O. If you're a keyboard shortcut type of person, that is the keyboard shortcut to get to that tool. Okay, so I'm going to choose the oval tool. I'm going to click, hold, and I'm going to draw a circle. Now, step 10 sort of denotes that we have to hold down Shift. If we hold down Shift when we do this, we will make sure we draw a perfect circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, hold, and I'm not going to hold down Shift, but then you might even hear it. I'll do it sort of loudly. There, I hit it, I let go, I hit it. I can draw a perfect circle. Okay, Shift is always going to sort of draw things proportionally for us. And I'm going to let go. Okay, I'm drawing a simple green ball inside the symbol green ball, inside the library. Now, I want to go up to my black selection tool, or the first selection tool, and I'm saying sort of black selection tool because we have what's called the sub selection tool, which we'll work with later. But the black first selection tool, and I can grab this and move it around. You'll notice a little center hash mark inside your library. This is sort of stating sort of the middle of your sketch pad. Okay, it's not particularly important right now, but it will become important later when we work with some other more complicated ways of tweening. Okay, so I've placed this thing on the center inside of that, and this in a nutshell is making a very, very simple symbol. This PDF, or this exercise, is going to be broken up into two parts. You'll notice that on the PDF we have sort of step one, which is creating the graphic or making the graphic, and then the second sort of chunk of text is going to sort of denote how we create that tween. Okay, so I'm going to actually stop the video right now, and when we come back I will be creating the motion tween. Just as an aside, there's a time limit on these videos, about somewhere around 12 or 15 minutes. So if I know that something is going to go further, I tend to sort of chop these videos in half. So this will be creating or making a simple motion tween part one, and you'll have part two on this.